I'm dragging it through here at a depth of about 4 inches and using it pretty much as a tiller and a box blade on steroids. It's you know, taking from the highs and it's leaving in the lows. It's also picking up any big rocks, anything that's very deep, you know, like that 4 inches. I've pulled rocks out that are about 8 inches in diameter. If I do this first, and then you'll see in some areas I have a whole bunch of like 1.25 inch minus, just because some of the soil is really rocky. It's actually not nearly as bad as it was over there, but I got it nice and clean. So what I do for that, after my first initial pass of breaking the dirt up, is I'll bring this down. And what's so nice about this versus a standard box blade, I mean, it has the rear tracking wheels on it, so I mean it's really similar to a grader, so it's pretty consistent. Like when I'm filling in, you can see this low spot right here, and this now has been broadened up to that surface, and then it took out material before and after. But anyway, so back to this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop this down so pretty much just those carbide tips are underneath the soil. So just that inch and a quarter. And you'll see once I get this started, the goal is to not actually carry a whole lot of dirt and debris in here. If you have too much dirt kicking around where it's hitting the flap right here, then it's eventually those small rocks, those 3/4 inch and a quarter and smaller rocks, are going to go ahead and they're going to pass through as that dirt builds up, and it puts force on those rocks to push them through. So the goal here, and I'll do a video, is when you are just scraping the surface, you want just a little cyclone effect of that dirt in there as it's going through. And the concept is that the rocks are heavier, and when they hit those carbide tips, they're actually going to be kicked further, and they're going to go out further in the cyclone, and they're just going to be pushed forward, push forward, push forward as the dirt cycles around and it gets pushed back behind the rotor there. So you can see I kind of got a little cyclone effect going on there. See, it's been a little bit too full, so I'm actually going to come up with it a little bit. And we're not kicking rocks out the back yet. They're all just building up right in front. You can see right there where it's sticking out a little bit. Now it's all just rocks. It's kicking forward. And then they'll pile up over here at the end. The other thing that's nice about this attachment that goes on the 3-point for the tractor, I don't know if the skid steer offers it, but on this one, there's a pivot, so you can actually take this, kick it off to the side, and you can take out these wings very easily, and you can windrow these. Now, what I did here is I kept on pulling and pulling and pulling. I pulled into a pile, and we're actually going to have a walkway here that separates our grass from kind of our wildflower area. And I'm actually going to angle that all the way as far as possible. And you see there's some dirt in there because I wasn't taking too much care with separating the rocks. But I'll do the same thing there while I start heavy, and then I'll slightly lift up until all this is just a nice row of rock. But yeah, I mean, you can see some of these big guys that thing is taken out of there. And there's actually some bigger ones too. Look at this one. I think I took this one all the way out from about 50 feet over. And that's a pretty big rock. And once you get used to it, it leaves a nice smooth finish. The only thing I'll probably do is I'll probably do a little chain link drag behind the lawnmower just to smooth out any high spots, any of those little rows, and then we'll seed, and then I'll use the chain link drag to cover the seed. And there we go. We got a windrow that'll have a little cute path leading over to hopefully a bridge to that front corner of the property, and maybe like a gazebo or something. So we'll have grass on this side, and then on this side there'll be just wildflowers.